This video presents select operating and safety procedures for the Vermeer VXT300 vacuum excavator. The components and controls on your machine may look different from those in this video. However, most operating functions are the same. Your Vermeer vacuum excavator truck is equipped with useful safety features. However, safe work practices are also necessary for accident prevention. Improper use of the machine could result in death or serious injury. For your safety and the safety of others, always use caution and good judgment. This video is a supplement to the machine's manuals and does not contain all the instructions needed to properly operate your machine. Vermeer supplies every machine with 2 operator's manuals. One is in the resource library shipped with your machine. The other is in the black storage box on the machine, so it is always close. Before operating, all operators must thoroughly read and understand the operator's and maintenance manuals, safety instructions, and safety signs on the machine. While watching this video, stop and review the information at any time and consult your operator's manual to reinforce what you have learned. Allow only responsible, properly trained people to operate a vacuum excavator. Learn the controls, operation, and use of the machine under the supervision of a trained and experienced operator. All operators must be familiar with job site safety rules and regulations and must be mentally and physically capable of safely operating the machine. Consult your operator's manual for required personal protective equipment. Wear close-fitting clothes and confine long hair. Remove jewelry such as rings, watches, necklaces, or bracelets. Always wear a hard hat, wrap-around safety glasses or goggles, and hearing protection. Contact your local environmental specialist to determine the required level of hearing protection for your job site. When operating near energized electric lines or underground utilities, always wear electrically insulated boots and gloves. Visually inspect your insulated boots and gloves before each use. See your operator's manual for proper inspection steps and care. When starting the machine, always follow the complete starting procedure as instructed in your operator's manual. Start the truck engine. Then, verify the park brake is engaged and the transmission is in neutral. Chalk the wheels and verify the engine is in low idle. Verify all machine emergency stops are pulled out and turn the machine power switch to on. Engage PTO number 1 via the main screen on the control panel or the remote if equipped. When shutting down the machine, always follow the complete shutdown procedure as instructed in your operator's manual. To shut down the machine, shut off the water pump via the main screen on the control panel or the remote if equipped. Pull the trigger on the water attachment to relieve pressure. Make sure all functions are off and the truck engine speed is at low idle. Disengage PTO number 1 via the main screen on the control panel or the remote. Shut off the truck engine according to the instructions in the truck operator's manual. Failure to follow the shutdown procedure before you work on the machine can result in unexpected hazards. In the case of an emergency, use the emergency stop buttons. The emergency stop buttons are located on the right and left sides of the machine. If using a remote control, press the machine stop button. Before going over machine operations, we will review the system controls, including the main control panel, display screens and navigation, and alert handling. The main control panel includes the main display, machine emergency stop or e-stop buttons, and the air compressor display if equipped. The main display screen shows the system operational status and machine functions. There are 2 primary screens and 9 subscreens that enable system operation toggle machine functions and provide onboard diagnostics. See your operator's manual for the list of available screens. Use the soft keys and navigation pad to actuate system functions, toggle a change in machine function state, and navigate the display screen. If an input is available, the corresponding soft key and/or navigation pad will be backlit. The system's functions on the right side of the screen have color-coded borders. Green indicates available and active. Yellow indicates available but inactive. Red indicates that the function is both unavailable and inactive. A double border indicates that activating the adjacent soft key will access additional screens. During machine operation, conditions that may reduce system functions trigger full-screen derate or shutdown alerts. After evaluating an alert based on the information provided in your operator's manual, the operator must acknowledge the alert before excavation can resume. To do so, press the bottom right soft key. There is an alert ribbon which appears along the bottom of every screen. The icons in this ribbon communicate the state of various machine functions and components, as well as active alerts. The borders of the alert ribbon icons are also color-coded. The significance of those colors may vary, so carefully review and understand the full list of function state, derate, and shutdown alerts in your operator's manual. After 5 minutes of display inactivity, the screensaver will activate and the bottom soft key backlight will pulse green. Press the soft key to reactivate the screen. For the purposes of this video, we will demonstrate remote functions using a RocketFlex remote. The remote control equipped with your machine may look different, but all functions are the same. Normal operating range is within 25 feet of the machine. Check the range before you operate, and do not exceed the maximum recommended range. See your operator's manual for information about the remote storage location, pairing instructions, controls operation, charging, and other remote functions. Prior to excavating, you must prepare the job site and know the estimated location of underground utilities. If a utility cannot be precisely located, it must be shut off by the utility company. Striking an electrical line can cause electrocution. Striking a gas line can cause an explosion. Cutting fiber optic cable could result in eye damage by laser light. Death or serious injury is possible. Call the local one-call system and any utility company that does not subscribe to the one-call system. For areas not represented by One Call Systems International, contact the appropriate utility companies or national regulating authority to locate and mark underground installations. Contact the local site manager if private utilities may be present. Check for adequate overhead and side clearances, making sure to account for the height of the boom. Depending on roadway regulations or corporate policies, secure proper traffic control. Before transporting, make sure the machine is free of soil, loose material, or debris. Check that all machine components and tooling are stored properly. Stow the ladder to transport. See your operator's manual for instructions. Make sure the spoil tank is all the way down on the rest and the door is securely closed. Make sure the boom is in the transport position. See your operator's manual for instructions to stow the boom. If equipped, make sure the hot box is turned off. Check the condition and operation of the highway lights and brakes. Follow the shutdown procedure as instructed in your operator's manual. Refer to the truck operator's manual for truck inspection information. Always survey the area around the machine for people or obstacles before moving the machine. When entering or exiting the cab, remember that improper use of the steps, ladders, and platforms can cause you to fall. Keep them clear of objects and debris. Face the machine when mounting and dismounting and maintain 3 points of contact with the access system. Keep all handrails in place. Adhere to all rules and regulations in the Commercial Driver's License Manual regarding trailer inspection, hookup, and towing. Use good judgment and obey all applicable laws governing road use. Know the locations and purposes of the following: the pintle hitch, the air brake gland hand connections. Always install gland hand covers when gland hands are not in use. The trailer chain D-rings. Always use DOT-compliant chains while towing. A 7-pin round electric plug. The standard plug installed on Vermeer VXT models will only operate a trailer equipped with air brakes. For an electric brake trailer, a DOT-compliant electric brake controller and electric plug must be properly installed. Always verify the trailer lights and brakes are functional before towing. The truck is equipped with a tow hitch that you should only use in compliance with local and federal regulations. Towing a loaded trailer while hauling spoil will likely place the total combination in an overweight situation. See your operator's manual for information to maximize the towing capacity, and refer to local and federal regulations for legal towing capacities based on the number of axles and axle placement. Weigh the combined truck and trailer at a local certified scale for compliance with local and federal regulations. Remember to keep the boom away from overhead utilities and use caution when operating the boom. Death or serious injury will result if the boom approaches or touches energized overhead electrical power lines. Position the machine on stable, level ground as close to the area to be excavated as possible. Engage the truck park brake and chock the wheels. The weight of your machine may cause the ground to give way. The machine can fall into the excavation or tip over, causing death or serious injury. Keep well away from the edges of the embankment or excavation. Do not work in a trench with unstable sides which could cave in. Specific requirements for shoring or sloping trench walls are available from several sources, including federal and state OSHA offices. Contact the suitable authorities for these requirements before working in the trench. Always perform a visual inspection of the machine before you operate. The machine must be in good operating condition with all safety equipment installed. See your operators, maintenance, and parts manuals for machine inspections, recommended intervals, and procedures. Fill the freshwater tanks with clean water. The main screen and water level lights show the water fill percentage. Make sure to relieve water from the air gap tube to protect against freezing in cold weather conditions. Clean the water strainer daily before you start the machine or during operation if the water flow becomes restricted. Refer to your operator's manual for the cleaning steps. Before operating, refer again to the Safety Messages section in your operator's manual for important safety information. Read and understand all safety and operating instructions. When you arrive at the job site, visually check for notices of underground placements, manhole covers, drop boxes, and recent trenching activity. If operating along a road, properly warn and divert motor vehicle and pedestrian traffic. Use all necessary signs, traffic cones, and flag persons needed for the work situation. 3 safety cones are provided under the left-hand water tanks. Set up the safety cones around the machine before you operate. Remember that engine exhaust can asphyxiate or poison, resulting in death or serious injury. Operate the machine outdoors. If it is necessary to operate the engine in an enclosed area, properly vent the exhaust gases. Make sure you are wearing the proper personal protective equipment. Striking an electrical line with a vacuum excavation tool, lance, or wand can result in electrocution. Death or serious injury could result if you are not wearing electrically insulated gloves. Before operating, remember that if a strike occurs, release the digging tool. Do not touch any part of the vacuum or excavation system. Have someone who is clear of the area contact the utility company to shut off electrical power. Do not allow anyone to approach the machine. Some breakers automatically reset. Do not assume power has been permanently disconnected until you confirm that the utility company has locked out power to that line. To begin operation, unreel the necessary amount of high-pressure water hose from the hose reel. Attach the dig wand to the hose with the quick connect fittings. Remember, the boom will swing outside the normal height and width of the machine. Death or serious injury will result if the boom approaches or touches energized overhead electrical power lines. Keep the boom away from overhead utilities and use caution when operating. Make sure obstructions such as electrical lines and/or approaching traffic are clear of the boom movement. To position the boom, use the control panel or remote to raise the boom high enough for the boom hose to clear the stow plate. Rotate the boom clockwise away from the rest. Position the boom so the end of the boom hose is about 5 feet above the ground to provide space to attach the dig tube. Unstrap and remove the outer tubes as needed. If the inner tubes also need removed, open the cam latch and raise the retaining plate. Verify the PTO is shut off. Then check that all hoses, fittings, and nozzles are clear of blockages and free of damage. Clean and replace as needed. Attach the dig tube using the ring clamp. Add dig tube extension tubes as needed. Position the vacuum tube above the desired digging location. Open the water supply valve and hose reel water supply valve, and confirm the water antifreeze 3-way valve is in the water position. Close the vacuum brake. Turn the water pump on and select the desired water pressure and temperature. If equipped, this is when it would be appropriate to turn on the water heater or hot box. Remember to avoid high-pressure water contact with your body or skin. The high-pressure water from the digging tool or wash wand can penetrate skin and body tissue and result in death or serious injury. Keep the nozzles away from the body. Fluid injected under the skin must be removed immediately by a surgeon familiar with this type of injury. Never point the digging tool or wand at anyone or at any part of the body. Never use the high-pressure wand to clean any part of your body or clothing. When excavating, keep all spectators away. Point the dig wand at the excavation area and pull the dig wand lever to supply high-pressure water to excavate the ground. Move the dig wand in a circular motion so the rotary nozzle excavates the soil. Place the vacuum tube over the material to remove it from the hole. During vacuum excavation, the vacuum tool uses a powerful airstream to remove wet or dry material. Vacuum hoses pose a suffocation hazard and will cause death or serious injury. Keep the hoses and tools away from the face and body. Make sure to use the proper rotary nozzle and pressure for excavation to prevent underground utility damage. As the digging tool descends, occasionally release the wand trigger and remove the wand to check the hole. If you encounter resistance, remove the tool, identify the utility or obstruction, and remove it according to your manual guidelines. Continue digging, occasionally stopping to check the hole until the utility is located. Remember, fire or explosion can cause death or serious injury. Do not vacuum hazardous or flammable material. Consult federal, state, and local regulations regarding classifications of hazardous material. When vacuuming liquids, do not completely submerge the vacuum tube in the fluid. Keep the tool partially out of the fluid to allow airflow through the vacuum tube so material moves more quickly to the spoil tank. When the spoil or fluid level in the spoil tank reaches capacity, the vac brake opens to prevent overfilling. When this occurs, empty the spoil tank. There are 2 ways that vacuum is broken. One is an electronic shutoff that derates and opens the vac brake. The other is a secondary mechanical float ball that shuts off vacuum to the tank. When vacuuming dry materials, the tank full shutdown sensor does not function. Keep a close eye on the spoil tank when vacuuming dry material and refer to your operator's manual for instructions on checking the spoil tank level. If there is a boom obstruction, see your operator's manual for removal instructions. If you need to reposition or move the machine within the designated work zone, refer to the instructions in your operator's manual. When you finish excavating, follow the shutdown procedure as instructed in your operator's manual. Establish a plan and site for disposing materials in the spoil tank before you begin excavating. When you arrive at the disposal site, make sure all personnel are clear of the dumping area. To begin dumping spoil, position the machine relative to the dumping location. Chock the tires and apply the parking brake. Rolling or tilting of the truck may cause death or serious injury. Engage the PTO to open the vac brake and boom gate in order to relieve tank pressure. Failure to do so will result in death or serious injury. To provide clearance in preparation for raising the tank, lift the boom off the stoveplate and rotate past the edge of the truck. Use the tank gate valve to initially drain the tank. Next, you'll dump the remainder of the spoil. To dump the entire spoil tank, open the spoil tank door. Remember, never allow anyone under a raised load unless the load is securely supported to prevent it from shifting or falling. Death or serious injury is possible if struck or crushed by a falling load. Once the door is open, engage the hydraulic lockout to secure the door. Raise the spoil tank. Material in the spoil tank may be very heavy. Stay clear of the door when raising the tank. Once the tank is empty and in the raised position, verify that the door locks are in place. Then, clean the tank according to your operator's manual. When you finish cleaning the tank, make sure all personnel are clear of the spoil tank and door, and keep hands away from pinch points. A raised load can crush. Lower the tank. Release the spoil tank door lock and close the spoil tank door. Continue the cleaning process, referring to your operator's manual for instructions on how to clean the tools, hoses, and filtration system after each dump. Properly stow all tools and hoses. Swing the boom back over the tank. Lower it onto the stoveplate and shut off the PTO. Vermeer supplies every new vacuum excavator truck with an operator's manual that provides important operation and safety information. If you suspect something is wrong with the machine, stop use and contact your independent authorized Vermeer dealer. Do not take chances with your safety by continuing to use a machine that needs maintenance or repair. Safe work practices are an important part of accident prevention. Do your part in following these procedures for your safety and the safety of others.